Hello there everyone, Aaron here from Push Square, and today I have some PC gameplay of Assassin's Creed Shadows. Our man Liam managed to get 4 hours of hands-on time with Ubisoft's upcoming RPG, and yes, while it's not PS5 gameplay, we now have a better sense of the content within the game and how it's changed things slightly from previous entries. So, along with that footage, here's our thoughts on Assassin's Creed Shadows. Assassin's Creed Shadows feels like quite a bit more than just another video game release for Ubisoft. With speculation surrounding its future ownership, a sales disappointment in Star Wars Outlaws, and now 2 delays for its newest open worlder, the stakes are high for the French publisher. Assassin's Creed Shadows doesn't just feel like something the firm wants to get right, it's something it has to. Having now played 4 hours of the game at a recent preview event, we are confident that it is finally struck gold. Ubisoft allowed us access to 2 distinct sections of the title, its story-heavy prologue and a series of main quests that make up an early assassination target. The latter brought with it a full section of the open world, opening up side quests and optional activities. But before all of that, there was the Animus Hub. Perhaps better known as Assassin's Creed Infinity, this is the launcher by which you can access multiple Assassin's Creed games at once. In the demo build that we experienced, it had this sort of chronological timeline, including games like Origins, Odyssey, Mirage, Valhalla, and of course the game we were there to play. It's interesting that the Animus Hub seems to be slightly more than just a launcher for the Assassin's Creed games, as there are unique rewards that you can unlock via this hub, and also lower entries that you unlock as you play more of the different games. Ubisoft has also said that it will expand the features and content of the Animus Hub as time goes on, so it'll be interesting to see how that develops. Now, having set ourselves up with Assassin's Creed Shadows, the prologue introduces the title's 2 main characters, Yasuke and Naue, with short origin stories set several months before the events of the game. Yasuke, aiding his mentor Father Valeriano, has travelled to meet with Lord Nobunaga to request the free movement of their priest in the area. They do come to an agreement, but only upon the exchange of Yasuke's ownership from Valeriano to Nobunaga. 6 months later, Yasuke is joining the latter in battle as they hunt down shinobi leaders and storm castles in a remote Japanese village. The perspective then shifts to Naue, who happens to live in the same village Yasuke and his allies are currently burning to the ground. Given the hidden blade, she's told to retrieve a special box from a nearby cave. A samurai ambushes her at the location, however, stealing the box and setting up a short revenge tale for Naue. More bloodshed concludes the prologue, at which point we jump ahead to the open world section of the game. While there were plenty of stretches of gameplay during the prologue, what stands out most during the roughly 45-minute section is the improvement Ubisoft has achieved in its overall presentation. There's a significant step up in cinematic quality compared to previous efforts, coupled with interesting storytelling and upgraded audio. Past Assassin's Creed games have been plagued by poor sound effects, and this flaw appears to have finally been fixed. When we reach the open world, the overall structure of the experience presents itself as an interesting mix of Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Mirage. It feels like the former in its map and general sense of exploration, with fewer icons on the map and activities and locations that reveal themselves to you naturally. It then mimics Mirage in its target-based mission design, at least in the early game quests that we played. With a main assassination target at the centre, you'll need to complete missions to discover more about them and their whereabouts. The VIP that we were after was called the Noble, with the quest leading up to their death providing ample time to experiment with both Yasuke and Naue. We begin the hunt with Naue, whose stealth-focused loadout and attributes were perfect for observation, tailing, and stealing. As has been touted in the lead up to launch, you can play the whole game as either Yasuke or Naue, or mix and match as you see fit. It takes just a few seconds to switch between them from the pause menu, and the game will also ask which one you want to play as at opportune moments during story quests. Their differences are already well documented, with Yasuke thriving in combat scenarios and Naue being best when no one knows that she's there. and this proves true during gameplay. Yasuke can equip katanas, these staffs with swords on the end, and big spiked clubs to deliver more damage and withstand more hits. He's a fierce warrior with various skill trees that you can tune to unlock better abilities and stronger attacks, but he's not a cheat code. Combat still presents a well-rounded challenge when playing as Yasuke, with levels dictating how strong enemies are. On the other end, Naoe thrives in the shadows and tall grass. She has a set of tools, the kunai, shurikens and a few more. Exclusive to her, she has access to the hidden blade, and she's the only character who can use eagle vision to observe her surroundings. Speedy and agile, Naoe can quickly traverse the environment with leaps and climbs, also utilising a grappling hook to either swing across bigger gaps or climb straight up. If she ends up in a fight, Naoe has access to katanas, kusaragamas and tantos. So then, Yasuke is best in combat and Naoe is best at stealth, but the roles aren't actually exclusive to each character. It is absolutely possible to play stealthily as Yasuke and conquer combat encounters as Naoe. It's just quite a lot harder. Trying to parkour as Yasuke is nowhere near as graceful. He's much heavier to control, he can't jump as far, and needs to grab onto the ledge and pull himself up after a bigger leap. He has to take his time when balancing on narrow ledges, and he's hesitant to jump down from great heights. Everything is done at a slower pace and is less graceful in every facet. Conversely, Naoe loses a lot more HP from attacks and deals less damage herself when she's spotted. You'll need to make far better use of your tools and abilities to survive while ensuring your blocks, dodges and parries are perfectly timed. Naoe can survive combat encounters just as Yasuke can clumsily traverse rooftops, but you must be far better tuned in and skilled to come out the other side unscathed. Open-ended exploration is the other side to most Assassin's Creed games, and in this new entry, the publisher has worked to distance the experience from the negatively viewed Ubisoft formula. The viewpoints are still there, but gone are most of the map markers and icons. Instead, when you reach a synchronization spot, you'll be able to look to the horizon and scout out new locations to investigate. As you pan the camera around, question marks will automatically appear, indicating there's something of interest there. These icons, at least in the first region we had access to, seemed to only highlight important structures and settlements, so you still need to find the quests and activities they contain yourself through exploration. We discovered activities like animal painting and archery challenges hidden away near to these places, but we weren't given the chance to mark them on our map from a viewpoint, for example. This way, you're given a general sense of where the landmarks are, but you must go there yourself to colour in all of your surroundings. Assassin's Creed Shadows features less landmass than the previous RPG entries, Odyssey and Valhalla in particular. If you zoom all of the way out, you can scroll from the top of the map to the bottom, from one side to the other in just a few seconds. With roughly 7 to 10 regions, it's quite a bit smaller, though Ubisoft has made up for that with density. You'll never travel too far without finding something new to do, or a more advanced version of a previous task. How some of these activities tie into character progression is through knowledge ranks. For completing tasks such as finding lost pages and praying at shrines, you'll increase your knowledge rank with new abilities unlocked in the many skill trees at certain milestones. The feature encourages you to seek such activities, providing both a distraction from the main questline and a chance to gain more power. Our preview session completed as we successfully completed the former for Harima region, with the noble now killed by our blade. The sequence of maybe 4 or 5 quests that made up the overall assassination attempt managed to keep up with the cinematic quality established in the prologue, helping to present a more interesting story than you typically see in an Assassin's Creed title. It wasn't clear whether the whole game will follow the structure debuted in Assassin's Creed Mirage, but it at least worked in this early game case, even without the context of the before and afters. How that story and more freeing exploration translates across the whole campaign won't be able to be judged until we have the full game in our hands, but 4 hours with an early part of the narrative was enough to demonstrate how Assassin's Creed Shadows is prioritizing curiosity and freedom over guidance and tired map markers. It's not bigger, a good thing for many, and it does appear better than what's come before it. With Assassin's Creed Odyssey under the belt of Shadow's lead developer, that's high praise. It could well be the best example of Ubisoft's RPG take on this long-lasting franchise. Thank you everyone for checking out our preview of Assassin's Creed Shadows. Let me know down in the comments below whether you plan on picking this one up when it launches on PS5 on the 20th of March. Are you looking forward to getting lost in the new RPG entry, or do you think this just looks like more of the same? Let me know, and while you're down there, remember to leave a like and even subscribe to the channel for more PlayStation video content just like this. And until next time, I've been Aaron, and this has been Push Square.